Dear children, good morning and let's come back. In this class, we will discuss about what are the various ways in which women face discrimination, disadvantage and oppression. Last class we have seen there are some countries in the world, especially Scandinavian countries, the position of women in public life is very high. So, what about our country? India is lag much behind men. Okay, in our country, women lag much behind men, despite some improvements since independence. Because our society is a male-dominated society. Okay, or patriarchal society. What is patriarchal society? Patriarchal society. What do you mean by patriarchal society? Ruled by father. Patriarchal society ruled by father. So what are the ways in which women face such a male-dominated society? What kind of discrimination, okay, or disadvantage or oppression they are facing, that we are going to see today. Let us have some general discussion about harassment or oppression or disadvantage which are faced by Indian women. Okay, we can just classify into different categories. Gender discrimination. Gender discrimination. Okay. Gender discrimination. Just we'll see that what are the different ways. Okay. We can make it here. Division of labor. Division of labor. Division of labor. Domestic violence. Domestic violence. Sex ratio. Female feticide. Female feticide. Low wages. Illiteracy. Practice of dowry. Practice of dowry. Okay, so there are large number of issues. You can see that large number of issues in that women are discriminated and disadvantaged or oppression. Okay, these are only some examples. Okay, you can write many issues. Okay, even child marriage. Okay, child marriage, we can write it early marriage. Okay, early marriage or child marriage. Okay. Child marriage. Like many issues we can see that. Okay, there are large number of issues which they face. Okay, or gender discrimination. Okay, division of labor, female feticide, low wages, sex ratio, domestic violence, illiteracy, or early marriage or child marriage, practice of dowry, then harassment. Okay, so many issues they are facing. Now we'll discuss literacy rate. Literacy rate among women is only 54%. What is the percentage of literacy rate? Only 54%. Literacy rate among women is only 54%. 54%. Okay. Women comparatively 76% of men. The percentage of literacy rate among women is only 54% according to the census of 2001. At the same time, you can see that men, their percentage is 76%. Okay. Similarly, you know that a small proportion of girls, they are going for higher studies. That means after passing 10th standard or 12th standard, okay, very less proportion of girls, they are going for higher studies. You know, when we are taking the performance of girls, they are not bad. Okay, even they are performing well as well as boys, they are performing, but in some areas not better. At the same time, still they are dropped out of school because of many reasons. Some are of poverty, some they are looking after their younger one. When the parents are going, nobody is there to look after them. So the elderly sisters, they used to seek for looking after the small kids, okay, or younger ones. At the same time, most of the time, the parents, they are not ready to spend their resources for their daughters. That means the parents are ready to spend their resources for their son rather than girls, or they are not ready to spend their resources equally for both boys and girls. Most of the time, they are not at all interested to spend more money for their or resources for their daughters. Okay, now exactly due to education, okay, or urbanization, there are many changes took place. But in the olden times, parents are not prefer to even send girls to school for long distance. Okay, or security reason, many reason it was not possible to send them or looking after their younger ones. Okay, that was the reason, first one. Now secondly, no wonder the proportion of women in highly paid jobs or varied jobs are very low. Okay, they are very low. The highly paid jobs or valued jobs are very small, less. Okay, on an average, an Indian woman works more than 1 hour more than an Indian man. That means what? An Indian woman is working more than 1 hour than an Indian man, but still their works are not valued, or therefore it is not considered or good payment, for good payment. Another reason. Okay, now we know that the Government of India passed Equal Remuneration Act. What Act? Equal Remuneration Act. Equal Remuneration Act in 1976. The Government of India passed Equal Remuneration Act. Okay, for it provides equal pay for equal work. Okay. Equal pay for equal work. Equal Remuneration Act 1976 provides equal pay for equal work. Equal pay for equal work. This is for getting equal payment for both men and women. That was the intention of the government to pass this Equal Remuneration Act in 1976. However, almost all areas of work, we can take some examples of these areas of work, from cinemas to sports, factories to different fields. Their works are not getting equal payment. You check it in sports as well as in cinema, their remuneration is less than men. They are not getting equal payment. Or in factories, or in some field. Okay, discrimination in wages or low wages that we studied here. Okay, low wages. These are not good symptoms. Therefore, their works are not valued. Even though both are doing the same, exactly the same work. In field, they are doing better works. In factories, they are doing better works. Or in punctual work, they are doing, or in cinema, or in factories, or in some other areas of sports. But their works are not paid, or they are not valued. Come to the next point. We have seen here female feticide. Okay, female feticide. You know, almost different parts of our country, especially some districts or some particular areas or some states, parents prefer to have sons and they find ways to abort a girl's child before they born. So, such sex selective abortions, that is what we call the female feticide. Sex selective abortions, or the abortion of girl child from the mother's womb, okay, before she born. Such a type of inhuman practice, what I would like to say, or which I would like to say, or what I should like to say, it is a kind of inhuman practice to kill or sex selective abortions which decline the sex ratio of our country. Okay, sex selective abortions are very important. Okay, or unwanted things which are going on. It will create imbalances. Okay, killing of girl's child before she born. Because the parents, they wanted to be or want to have only sons. Feel, why to spend money for my daughter? They are going for some other home after their marriage. After marriage, why to spend my money? So such a type of morality which divides equality before law. Even okay, discrimination between men and women. Okay, domestic violence. There are large number of domestic violence. This is also happening. Okay, harassment from the father, harassment from husband. Okay, or in-laws. Okay, these are commonly seen, or you might have read in many newspaper articles. Such type of things are going on. Exploitation in different ways, or early marriage. Okay, or practice of dowry. Okay, these are not at all good for the society. All such type of things are discriminating. So when we are talking about the sex ratio, what is sex ratio? I have written here sex ratio. Number of girls, children per 1,000 boys. Okay, number of girl children per 1,000 boys. Number of girls for 1,000 boys. This is what we call the sex ratio. When sex ratio is declining, it will create imbalances in the society. So when we are looking to the political map of India, we can see that there are some states. Okay, I will show you in a map. Okay, or some states you can see that their sex ratio is very low. Look at this picture. Look at here, you can see that, okay, there are some states. Some states you can see that here. Okay, can you see the states? Can you see here? Okay, see no? See here. There are some states, especially Haryana or this area, you can see that here sex ratio is very low. Okay, that means 800 something. Okay, 860. Okay, 884. Okay, like that. Very low sex ratio is there. Okay, that means girl children are very less comparatively boys. Okay, but at the same time you can see that there are some states which are in Gujarat, some areas are there. Okay, some areas you can see that, but little bit more. Okay, at the same time some states like Kerala and even Puducherry, Tamil Nadu. Okay, these states you can see that their sex ratio is very good. Okay, that means for in Kerala you can see that their sex ratio is 1084 per 1000 boys. That means in Kerala girls are more than boys. For 1000 boys there are more than 1084 girls are there. And in some other Puducherry, okay, even in Tamil Nadu also, okay, some states, this green color you can see that their sex ratio is very good. Okay, this low sex ratio, that means the girl child is less, that is very problematic. Okay, when we are taking our average, okay, our national average is only 914. Okay, average. Okay, our national average. Now let us discuss about what are the different. Okay, some states we have seen that ratio is fallen below 850 or even 800 in some parts. Now there are reports of various kinds of harassment, exploitation, violence against women in different areas. We have seen that. Okay, so the women movements that we discussed last class or feminist movement, they thought over it. Okay, in order to reduce such a type of violence against women, okay, or political participation is very important. So, as a result of such a type of movements and their political expression of gender issue, okay, large number of people come to the public areas or public arena or in order to take part in the decision making process. So the participation of women in our Indian Parliament is not reached up to 10%. Okay, it is written in your textbook, okay, not reached up to 10%. But in 2009 election, okay, their percentage reached 10%. What about state legislative assemblies? State legislative assemblies, it is only 5% representation. Okay, only 5% representation. So, if representation is not there, how they can take part in the decision making process? That is very important, you know that, okay. When the representation is not there, who will raise their issues? That is very important, okay, for all understanding these things, okay. To solve, because when we are talking about different countries of the world, okay, they are shared in assemblies, and this is India is among the bottom group of nations of the world. When we are talking about different countries of the world, or we have seen that the Nordic countries or Scandinavian countries, their percentage of women in public life is very high. That we have seen that. So when we are talking about India, our country is bottom when discussing or comparing with the different countries of the world. The participation of women is very low. Okay, especially some African countries and Latin American countries, even we are lagging in that, okay, in the representation of women in our parliament, okay, or in political participation is very less. I will show you one graph again, okay, to make it clear. Now this is your textbook, okay, here you can see that one graph is given, okay, for women in national parliament in different regions of the world. Okay, here you can see that the representation of women in Nordic countries, Africa, America, Europe, Sub-Sahara Africa, Asia, Pacific, South Asia, India, Arab, okay, nations. So world average you can see that here it is of 16.8%, world average. Now here you see that Nordic countries means it is of countries like
Scandinavian countries, okay, or 5 countries are there: Denmark, Iceland, Norway, Sweden and Finland. Okay, these countries are called Nordic countries. What countries? Nordic countries. Finland, Norway, Sweden, okay, Iceland. Okay, like 5 countries are there. These are called Nordic countries. Their representation, you can see that, okay, 40%. Okay, in American cities of 20.2. Europe, you can see that 19.6. In sub-Saharan African countries 16.5. Asian countries 16.3. Pacific regions 12.3 and South Asia 11.7, and you see that our country India is 8.3 and Arab states are 8.2. Okay, these are the condition of the representation of women all over the world. World average is of 16.8 also, you can see that. Okay, world average. So this is what the picture of the representation of women in public life in almost all part of the world. Now, how to overcome this problem? Okay, the way to or ways to solve this problem to get some elected representation. So that we have studied that in 73rd and 74th Amendment in 1992, 1/3 seats of Panchayati Raj municipalities reserved for women. That you studied about that. Okay. 1/3 of all positions are reserved for women, so that they will get some participation. They can raise their issues. Okay, they can take part in public activities. Okay, in that way they can come to the public arena. And there is a bill which aims to give 1/3 of the seats in the state legislative assemblies and parliament. That is of 33% reservation for women was pending, even though it was passed, okay, in the upper house, that is Rajya Sabha, in the year 2010. Okay, it was passed in Rajya Sabha, but there are certain technical reason to pass in the lower house of Indian Parliament, that is Lok Sabha. There are many members that thought that bill that if you see that incidents of the Parliament. Okay, so what we can understand here, the parties, even many political parties, whether it is national parties or state parties or regional parties, they are not ready to give maximum representation of 33% of reservation to women. They are not ready to give. So from this we can understand that women all over the world, especially in our country, they are facing different types of violence, different types of discrimination and even oppression in their families, in societies and even political areas. Okay, they are not getting sufficient representation, and their representation in our country, okay, it never reached 10%, but only in this 2009 election their representation is little bit get up to 10%. In state legislative assemblies their representation is very only 5%. Okay. These are the topics today. Today we discussed about what are the different ways in which women are discriminated, disadvantaged and oppressed. Okay, and the second one, women participation in India. Okay, so with this we come to the conclusion of this area, that means of gender discrimination. From this we can understand that we can conclude this part by saying that there are some kinds of issues that must be raised in politics. So gender is a kind of such topics. Gender issue must be raised in politics. There are certain kinds of issue must be raised in politics, especially gender. Okay, discrimination on the basis, we have discussed about that. It is not a kind of biological differences. Okay, it is a kind of social discrimination. Okay, or stereotype. Okay, people are looking social commitment. People are looking for some kind of or making stereotype. They can do any work, prejudicing, okay, people, prejudicing, or with the help of state, okay, or elected government, even they are not ready to give such a type of participation for women. So from that we can understand that some issues, especially gender issue, must be raised in politics, so that the people, those who are suffering, will get adequate representation in political as well as in public life. Okay, with this we come to the conclusion of this part, and tomorrow we will discuss another issue, that is religion or caste. Thank you.